Practice makes perfect. That should be a theme to every DJ that's out there. In order for you to become like the legends that's out there, the established DJs out there, it takes practice. You have to practice. DJing is a skill. It's a creative skill. But in order for you to achieve the goal that you want to set for yourself, you have to practice. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to give you some tips and trips on the how to practice, what to look for in practicing, what techniques to focus on, and things of that nature. So, sit back and we're about to get into this. Let's go. For those who don't know me, or for those who do know me, I'm Househeadspeakz. I'm DJ. I'm also a broadcaster. I'm also a designer, and I've been doing this since 2017. So, what I'm going to start to do right now is the subject on setting a goal when it comes to practicing. So, let's get into it. Okay, here we go. Setting a goal. And the question I have up here is, what do you want from DJing? But what I'm going to do is iterate this question is, what do you want to get out of DJing? Everybody has a certain goal they want to set. They have a certain nuance, certain mountain they want to climb when it comes to DJing. So, in order for you to, to start with the procedure of practicing, you need to ask yourself, what do I want to get out of DJing? Of course, I'm going to be looking at my little script, so bear with me here. In fact, I'm going to read this little paragraph on there. So, like I said, bear with me. It says, first and foremost, it's important to have a goal in mind. And that's what I mean by setting a goal. Ask yourself, what do you want to achieve with your DJing? Now, yeah, let's talk on that right for us for a moment. What what do you want to achieve in your DJing? Where you want to go as a DJ? Do you want to be just a bedroom DJ to just DJ for yourself, for a hobby and enjoyment? Or do you want to be a streaming DJ where you can go on Twitch and the other socials and stream your sets live, to gain followers and those who want to listen to it? Or if you want to be a DJ that wants to play out in certain clubs and festivals and things of that nature, it's important to know firsthand when you're starting on this journey where you want to go in this journey. So let's continue to read it. Okay, it's to perform a specific venue, to become a resident DJ at a club. I just mentioned that. I didn't mention the residency part because that's kind of important to it. You might be one. You might be a DJ that wants to play at a certain club that you probably had attend to most of your life as a dancing or listening to the music, and you like, well, let me check out this club, see if they're looking for new DJ to start a residency with. So maybe that's where you want to head for yourself, or to produce your own music. Yes, DJs also can be producers as well. I mean, you have great ones like Louis Vega, like David Morales, like Manu. You even have DJs and producers where I'm from, like Jules the Lab Mad Thinker, Louis Gomez, Terry Hunter, you know, Wayne Williams, and there's other DJs and producers that's out here where I'm from that also plays in different venues and festivals all over the world. So maybe that's where you want to head, towards your DJ. Knowing your goals will help you stay motivated and focused during your practice sessions. That's why it's good right off the bat to set a goal, because once you set that goal, you will know firsthand what it will take for you to achieve that goal, especially when it comes to DJing. I mean, every DJ who has been doing this for either a couple months to a number of years, they all have one thing in common. They had a goal. They knew where they want to go in their DJing. Sometimes it takes them to a different direction. Sometimes it takes them to either to directions they didn't even thought of. But the number one thing was they set a goal. Now we're gonna talk about time, making time to practice your DJing. Now you figure out your goal, you figure out where you want to go in your DJing. Now you need to set the time. How, what time, how you're gonna schedule yourself to practice your DJing skills. And that's important because, without practicing or without setting the time to practice, how you're going to progress. You're not going to. You can't just, say that, well, I'll practice this many times, or maybe I'll skip a few days and then practice that many times. It doesn't work that way. In fact, from my experience, when I first started DJing, I set a time to practice at least about 2 hours, and I did it 2 hours every day. And mind you, I have a full time gig, so I made the time. Not only did I practice, 2 hours a day, I practice longer on the weekends. I might practice to like two, 2, 3, 2 hours, and then I'll take a break. Then I'll listen to other stuff. Then I'll go back into it later and practice another 2 hours. And also, the way I made the time and made my practice more viable is I joined online radio shows. So that was another way to keep up with my practice. I mean, one radio show that comes to mind is one that's based in Canada. I'm still doing shows for them, to this day. But at that time, it was weekly. That means every week on a Thursday, I had to deliver. So that means maybe one Monday or Tuesday, I will do an hour. I will record an hour set, send it over to them, make sure I got it there at least by Wednesday, and then they will broadcast my show on a Thursday. So that's how I did it as far as making time. Now, here's what they're saying. They said once you have a goal in mind, it's time to start practicing. Yes, it is. That's when you know that, okay, I know I want to be here. In order for me to get here, I know I'm at to start the work, and practice is the work. Okay, the key to effective practice is consistency. That means you set a time, you set a schedule, and you stick to it. You don't deviate it, you don't change it. Now, of course, there are times where things happen, schedules can change, but if whatever that happens, you go back into your schedule because you want to keep yourself as consistent as possible, because DJing is repetition. Practice, practice, practice. Yeah, I sound like Albert Iverson, but hey, it is. Practice makes perfect. You have to practice. No DJ, no matter who they are, didn't get to where they are now without taking the time and scheduling itself and being consistent with that time and practice. That's the key, and that's important. Set aside a specific time each day or week to practice and stick to it. Like I just said, kind of repeat myself here. Even if you only have 30 minutes a day, it's better than nothing. That's right. Something is better than nothing. Maybe you can't do 2 hours every day. Maybe you can do an hour a day. Maybe you can do 30 minutes a day. Maybe you can only practice maybe on the weekends. And if that's just the case, then I wouldn't do just 2 hours. I would do 4 hours. I mean, you can split it up in 2 hour increments. You can say, I'll practice these 2 hours, and then I'll practice something else this 2 hours. And especially if you're a mobile DJ, that'll be cool because you can practice one particular genre for the first part, and then a different genre from the second part, just to get in tune and blend everything together. So yes, make sure you make the time and be consistent with that time. Now, we already set the goal. Okay. We already set a schedule. Now, the next thing is, okay, what to practice? Okay, the first and foremost thing you should be practiced on, especially if you're a beginning DJ, is the basics. That means beat matching, blends, transitions. Those are the 3 basics. Oh, forgot one. Dropping in on the one. Those are the 4 basics of DJing, and that's all across the board. Doesn't matter what music you're playing, what genre of music you're playing, who you're playing it for. It doesn't matter. Without those 4 basics that I just mentioned, that's the essence of DJing. Without those 4 basics, like I said, beat matching, blends, transitions, dropping it on the one. Those are the key. That's where you want to focus on. That's where you want to practice on. That means you got to make sure when you put in that first track, setting up the beats per minute. Make sure that you have that going, and then you bring it in that other track. You just want to be sure that you have it going. As a matter of fact, let me do a little example here, so I can show you exactly what I mean about practicing. So we're going to we're gonna do a little some here. Okay, this first track I'm going to play is Strings of Life, Supernova. So I'm gonna play that track. So I'm gonna play that track right now. Now, as you can see, I'm about to get ready to search for my next track, and I think I found it. Okay, I'm gonna blend the track that you listen to now from this other track called Dancing. It's a DJ PP remix. I love this track, so I love mixing with it. mean by practicing. What I did was I just did my usual, beat matching. I did my little transition from track one to track two. Did my blends in, you know, fade out the first track to make sure you hear the second track, and then let the second track play. That's what we're talking about when it comes to practicing. Let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about here. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did here. It said it's important to start with the basics, which I did. I just did just the basics. I didn't do anything fancy, just the basics. I did the fundamentals of beat matching, which you heard. I also did the phrasing, so I made sure it was in time and it's in key. I also EQ it. That means I dropped that first track down so you can hear the second track. Then I slowly brought a phase out the first track so you can hear the second track front and center. And that's how you do it. That's what you want to practice on. You want to practice those four fundamentals, and I'll repeat them again: beat matching, blends, transitions, dropping on the one. Make sure you know those. Those are the main ingredients. It's like when we're talking about gumbo, what's the main ingredients in gumbo? The Holy Trinity. And if you from New Orleans or you're not from New Orleans, you should know what the whole Holy Trinity is. If I'm not mistaken, it's green peppers, carrots. No, I'm sorry. Green pepper, celery, onion. The Holy Trinity. That what makes a gumbo. That's what makes a jambalaya. So what I'm telling you is beat matching, blends, transitions, drop another one. It's the it's the well, it's four, but still, it's like the Holy Trinity of DJing. So let's get ready for the next one. Now, once you feel you have those fundamentals fundamentals that I mentioned earlier, once you feel that you are comfortable and you know your stuff, then you can start to dabble and dip, as far as, you know, working on your technique. Like my man said, don't sweat the technique. Technique is key because you don't want to be stagnant, you don't want to be boring. So you want to add different nuances to your DJing. Maybe, I'm gonna see if I can give you a little sample on what I mean about what I mean about doing some different stuff. Okay. Um, okay, I got a technique that I can show you. This is something that I practice on for some time and pretty much be able to master it. I won't say master it. It still needs some work, but it's something that I enjoy doing. And what I'm doing with this is I'm actually going to take one track, and it's a long track. As a matter of fact, it's 7 p.m. by one of my favorite DJ producers from New York, the legend himself, Timmy Register. This is his 13-hour track. So what I usually like to do, as far as techniques concerned, I like to take long tracks, and then I like to add maybe one or two short tracks with it. Let that long track keep playing, but just add different other tracks to it. Now, one of my this is the one I practice on. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay, here we go. What I did was I'm going to take this first track, which is 7 p.m. and I'm going to let this play. I'm not going to even change it. I'm going to let this play on track one, on deck one. With deck two, I'm going to play not one, but 2 different tracks on deck 2, while at the same time allow deck 1 to keep playing. Let me show you how I'm gonna show you how it's done. Okay. Okay, hold on for 1 minute. I should have done that when I was just explaining my other stuff, but I'm going to break this down. I'm not even going to use my strip and stuff like that because I feel like this experimentation is pretty much like self-explanatory. All you're doing is just experimenting different ways of bringing in tracks, different ways of using the using the just using the sound, the effects, all that. That's what you want to do when you want to express it. You want to just enhance what you already know. Say you got your fundamentals. Now it's time to do your experimenting different nuances, just things that that you said, "Ooh, this sound cool. Okay, let me try that." So we're gonna try this. I'm gonna try to do this as not too long, but I'm gonna try to do it. So let's go. Now again, I'm gonna play this track that you're listening to right now. I'm not even gonna change it. I'm not gonna switch to another track. I'm gonna let this track play, and then I'm going to play 2 different tracks on deck 2. Check it out. you do it. Like you heard, like you saw, like you heard. I took one track, just one track, and one of the good things about this particular technique is make sure whatever track you pick as far as deck, the first deck one, make sure that track is at least 10 minutes long because it probably won't work if it's a little shorter. So the longer the track, especially for deck one, the time you will have to bring those other two tracks here. So that's when we're talking about when it comes to experimentation and technique. You want to get your technique down, and that can be as far as getting the EQs correct. Make sure you bring in the tracks in. Make sure you're working on the effects. You can work the color effect, the sound color effects. Some as you heard, I also did the bring the low EQ in, and bring it back up. These are certain techniques that I learned through practice. And yes, we're going to keep using that word as repetitious as possible because I want make sure all you DJs, especially you young DJs who just starting out, to know that in order for you to get to the level, this level, and I'm still growing, I'm still learning. I've only been doing this, like I said, on my shirt since 2017. So I'm still learning and growing. But in order for you to get to at least this particular area, it takes practice. So on to the next part. Now, this is the part that I know that a good number of DJs, especially DJs that's starting out, may be a little fearful or maybe a little intimidating on, but or about. But it's one of the key important things that you must do in order to progress as a DJ, and especially during your practice. And I will say this: make sure that this is one of the habits that you have. And I ain't talking about just practicing your DJing. I'm talking about as far as every set that you play for, no matter if it's your live stream on Twitch, an online radio show, or even if possible, a gig when you play out. Record your sets. And when you record them, you listen to them. So what I'm trying to, portray here is that when you plan, anytime that you practicing, and I want you to make this a point, anytime that you are practicing, no matter if you practicing for 30 minutes, no matter if you practice for an hour, 2 hours, every time you practice, you record that practice. You don't have to broadcast it out. You can keep it private, keep it between yourself, especially if you don't feel comfortable right now, you know, people listening to your mix. That's fine. Just make sure that you record them so you can have something on record to go back and listen to. Because when you listen to your own set, yeah, I'm my worst critic also. There's certain sets that when I started out, I was like, oh no, there's no way I'm even gonna let anybody listen to that. And then I'll delete it, and then when I practice again, I'll record another set. I'll listen to it. I'm like, I don't, something is amiss here, or I maybe messed up or train wrecked something, or something was off time. Obvious. Okay, I can get rid of that. I know not to do that again. And then you go back and practice. And also, when you do that, if you recognize a certain um, track that you transition to from that one track to the next track, and maybe it wasn't in time, maybe it wasn't in beat, maybe you just totally train wrecked it. The next time you practice on that same those same tracks. Like I said before, and I will say it again, practice DJing is being consistent and it's also repetition. So you're going to be doing it over and over and over and over again. Trust me. True story. I remember when I was doing my first gig, and I mean I won't say my first gig. The first gig I did, I was just playing music for some dances at a Millennium Park during the House Music Festival here where I'm from, which is Chicago. But the first gig that I did that I was playing outside, the first main festival, I had to go to one of my fellow DJ's house and use their equipment. And anytime I made a trade rate, they said, do it again. Anytime I was off beat, do it again. Anytime I was, it was off key, do it again. No, and trust me, and they kept telling me, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. Yeah, I got tired of hearing doing it again, got a little frustrated of hearing doing it again, but guess what? I kept doing it again until it sound right, until it was in time, it was in beat, and yeah, did it with the same two tracks that I messed up on. Anytime I didn't go to another track, I didn't change to two different tracks. Anytime that DJ said, nope, you're gonna use the same, you're gonna use that same track, you're gonna do it again. That's how you do it. And what I'm saying about recording your sets, it's important because you want to listen to what you play and you want to get some feedback on it. So now the best way I would say do it. I this is what I use. I to record all my sets. I use Audacity. Audacity is free. It costs nothing. All you have to do is just go to the site, download it, and that's where you use to record. I use to record every set that I play. In fact, put the um I'll put the URL under the subscription box below. So I would use that to to broadcast my recordings. I use SoundCloud. You can use Mixcloud if you feel comfortable with. Mixcloud is one that I used before, but I decided to stick to just SoundCloud. So that's what I use. You can use SoundCloud, you can use Mixcloud. You can also use Here Is At, but what I would do is I will use Here Is At and just use that as private, you know. But the problem with Here Is At is you can only record certain certain sets, and then you have to pay a monthly subscription if you want to record everything else. SoundCloud is a little bit like that too. You have to pay a subscription price to store all your music. That's unfortunate about these sites when it comes to recording your music. Not recording music, as far as broadcasting your music and have your music stored. But you can also store it on Dropbox. You can also store it there as well. If you don't want to use SoundCloud, you know, in the beginning, and you want to wait until you feel that you're good enough, I would just store all my music in in Dropbox. Keep it there, listen to it, and then you'll have your music there. And then when you're ready to, you know, take your, record your music and post it out on SoundCloud, then that's when you can do that. But that's how I would do it. But also listen to every set. That means not just parts of the entire set. No matter if it's a 30-minute one, a 2 hour, a 1 hour, listen to the entire set because it will you can then that's how you learn from listening to your music. Then okay, I know what I messed up on, so the next time I know what to do to correct that. So that's how we do it. So Now, let's go to the next one. Okay, this one speaks for itself. Just have fun. That's what DJing is supposed to be, fun. If you're not have fun doing this, don't do it. Period. I have spoken to so many DJs throughout the years, and every time I see them, I always see them smiling. I see them into their music, and that means they're enjoying what they do. And we're talking about DJs who's been doing this for 10, 20, 25 years, and you can still see how much they enjoy DJing, because that's what this is. This is for enjoyment. You are playing music to get a party, to get the crowd going, get people dancing, get people enjoying themselves. It's feel good. It's a feel good moment. So, and my thing is this: if I see a DJ not getting to the music, not rocking and stuff like that, all that stuff. Then I'm like, okay, if you're not feeling it, you expect me to feel it? No, heck no. So make sure that you are enjoying yourself, because like I said, it doesn't matter if this is your hobby, and it doesn't matter if you're going to use it to play, if you're going to DJ for gigs and stuff like that. Just enjoy the process, because that's what it is. Even when you're just practicing, enjoy the process, because that's what it's for. You're learning a new skill, and anytime you learn something new, you're supposed to be excited. You're supposed to be upbeat. You're supposed to enjoy. It's supposed to be fun. I ain't never heard saying that DJ is not fun. Anytime a DJ said it's not fun, it's not fun. They don't need to be DJing. Period. Point blank. I think I said enough. Off to the recap. Okay, let's recap everything and do the little recap a cap. Okay. Um, you know so we stress the fact that practice DJing, practice makes perfect when you're DJing. We did that. Okay, we said that you have to set a goal, and you have to know what your goal is, and what you want to achieve as a DJ. Okay, now we're talking about time. That means you need to make a time, set a schedule, set the time, and be consistent with that time and with that schedule. Okay, what to practice? Well, if you're first starting out DJing, you should be practicing the fundamentals, the basics, which is again beat matching, blends, transition, dropping on the one. Those are the four things you should be practicing on. Always practice the basics. That's how everybody starts. That's how every DJ started. Okay. Now, experimenting. That means don't sweat the technique. That means start after you did your fundamentals, start experimenting, start doing different things, with your DJing, working on the effects, working on the color effects, working, manipulating the EQs, do the technique that I was doing. Go use a long track for the first deck and add two more tracks to the second deck. So that's what we're talking about experimenting. Okay, recording your sets. That means every set that you play, even if you're practicing, you record it, and then after you record it, you go back and listen to it, so you can get your own feedback on what you need to work on, what you need to practice on more, and things of that nature. And then, of course, have fun. This thing is fun. It's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to enjoy it. So enjoy it. Have fun. I mean, when you have fun, then whoever you playing for, either if you playing, a live stream, or you playing for a huge crowd, if they know they know that you feeling it, they gonna feel it right along with you. So, I think I said enough. Well, I hope everyone got what they need to get out of this subject. I enjoy doing this one. This is one of the ones I've been waiting to do for a while. Unfortunately, I do apologize for being so late with it, but better late than never. So if you like what you heard, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on on the usual socials: Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also make sure you check out the merch. You can go to www.househeadspeaksdesigns.com. I do have a shop on T Public, and that is connecting to my website as well. But you can also see my designs also on my IG. If you go to House That Speaks Designs, you'll see the particular designs there. Also, I just started a TikTok account for just my designs. So if you search House That Speaks Designs, you'll find my TikTok. I'm still growing that one, so bear with me. I'll be posting more designs on that particular social. Well, that's it, everyone. Make sure you practice. Make sure you enjoy the process. Make sure you love what you do as a DJ because this stuff is fun. By the way, for all my peeps in Toronto, I will be playing there Saturday, this coming Saturday, May the 27th. If you want to check out if you want to see where I'll be playing and the information, you can check out my House That Speaks IG account. You can check out my Facebook account as well. You can go to House That Speaks on my Facebook. You can also go to my group page on Facebook at House That Speaks. You also can check. I also will be posting that information on my Twitter, which is House That Speaks as well. So, thank you all. I appreciate the love and the continued support. I will try to post more of these because I enjoy doing it and I enjoy talking to you and I enjoy helping out, young DJs, established DJs, and even DJs who's been doing this for a long time may get a little refresher out of it. If they do, that's cool. I love them for it too because that's how I wanted to be a DJ by following DJs that I like and love. So until the next one, be safe, stay safe, and I'll see you next one. Peace out, fam. Love.